Welcome back, folks. This is Sarcasm Speaks. I'm Jared. He's Bob. Nope, we're good. I thought my microphone was just off. I thought I hit the off button right before I started talking. That would have been awesome, right? Welcome to Sarcasm Speaks. We are absolutely retarded. Yeah, so here we are on a Sunday night. Interesting turn of events. I'm just going to jump right into this because I think it was our last episode, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it was also our last episode where you guys are well aware that my concept of time over the last 2 weeks has been absolute dog shit. So I think it was the last episode where we talked about no more lockdowns, right?
Okay.
Was it the last one?
Yeah.
Or 2 episodes ago, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
It was within the last 2 episodes. Well, like I said, interesting turn of events here. There seems to be another new variant of the coronavirus just in time for Christmas. The Omicron variant. So here we are. I said this earlier, right? But this was, weeks, months ago. Like, we're just going to keep ripping through the Greek alphabet, right? I want to get so many variants where we're in fraternity sorority territory. Like, I want to be like, oh, this is the alpha gamma variant, or this is the phi pi, or the zeta theta. You know what I mean? Like this, I want some legit stuff, like I want to go real fucking crazy with it. But here we are. The Omicron variant is the newest variant that was discovered in South Africa, both the country and the region, right? That one gets a little tricky sometimes for people. It was first discovered in the country of South Africa and then later in the region of Southern Africa. I just said that like a Canadian. Southern. I've been listening to Ian too much. The Bacon Bets podcast. Shout out to Ian, friend of the show. So you guys are like, well, maybe the listeners already know, but have you heard anything about this? Do you know anything about Omicron?
Yeah.
So the first thing, right? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'm jumping all over the place.
I was just going to ask him, like, yes, I know, but I don't know where you want to go with it.
So the very first thing that was announced was there was going to be a travel ban issued from countries in the region of Southern Africa. Shout out to our friends to the north in Canada. So now if you want to fly...
They actually say
you
that?
don't notice it. Even Ian has a weird accent. Southern.
I know he has a weird accent because he's from fucking Nova Scotia, but like, I didn't think Southern was loud.
Yeah, I don't know. I just gave it to them. I just determined their accent for them.
You're the worst. You're the worst type of person.
Yes, I think that's very
like when
clear.
everyone tries to. That's like when everyone tries to tell us how we speak in Boston.
Yeah. So, irregardless, anyone right now that tries to travel to the United States from the region of South Africa, right? There's like probably 7 or 8 countries. Can't do it anymore. And everyone is kind of hush on this, right? Which is interesting because nobody has come out and declared that this was a racist move, because when old number 45 went out there and did something similar at the beginning of all of this, he was touted as a racist and a bigot. If I remember correctly, which I believe I do, Nancy Pelosi went as far as saying we should all go hang out in Chinatowns in all of our major cities instead, because at that time, Trump wanted to ban travel from China in particular, but also some other Asian countries. And obviously, Democrats were like, well, he's a racist and a bigot. And like I said, Nancy Pelosi takes it one step further because she can't fucking help herself and makes a borderline racist comment in and of itself, saying, no, instead of banning travel from these countries, we should all, as a country, go hang out in our respective Chinatowns. Like, what? Okay, whatever. But not one person has come out and called Joe Biden a racist, except for people on the right, obviously. But they've been doing it in ways of like screenshotted memes of like what people were saying in like April, March of 2020 about Trump, and like now about Biden, everything is silent. They're like, whoa, where's the outcry now? But what is interesting about this is that the left is staying totally silent on it. They're not touting it as, oh, what a great move by President Biden. This, can you believe he's in it to protect all of us? They're not doing that, which if they did that, that would be beyond reprieve, right? I mean, like that's the ultimate, like, we think you guys are all absolutely retarded, which I mean, 97.8% of us mostly are, but still.
So could it be that a political side is actually doing something moderately intelligently by shutting their fucking mouth?
I doubt it.
Well, that's what they, well, right now they're, well, so, okay. They are shutting their mouths right now.
Yeah. They're just saying, they're literally dropping the mic. They're up there. They're being like, hey, there's a travel ban from these 8 countries in the region of South Africa. Cool. See you later. And then they just run off the stage. They're not like parading it down the street. They're not like doing anything. They're just like, hey, here's the situation. This is what we're doing. We're not taking any questions on it. See you later. Because they know, right? Because they know what they did to Trump was total horseshit. And now they're doing the exact same thing and they don't want to hear the bullshit.
Yep.
But guess what? I know I'm going to get it anyway. They're going to get it anyway because they're fucking dickheads.
Yeah, especially when everything's so polarizing, it has to go this way.
Yeah, absolutely. So then to back this up even more to the whole reason why I brought this up in the first place was, now here I am counting my chickens before they've hatched, but I am going to take one step forward towards taking a victory lap here. I am not in full-blown victory lap mode. I have not climbed up the chain link fence to grab the checkered flag from the guy in the booth yet. But we're on the last lap, and I got a 2-car lengths lead here coming into Talladega, the end of Talladega. You know, we're making it through turn 3 and turn 4, and I got to get my ass through turn 4, through the tri-oval, and past that checkered finish line. Then I can go up and grab that checkered flag from that guy in the booth. Because, one, Dr. Anthony Fauci has made a reemergence in the public sphere. He's been pretty quiet lately, right? Ever since in November? I think it was like sometime the end of September towards like the middle of October. They pretty much had him dead to rights that he lied he committed perjury, right? And then he decided to backtrack. He waited like 2 weeks before he said anything. And then he decided to backtrack and try and say that gain of function research isn't a big deal. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing, but instead of denying it vehemently like he did and committed perjury, he was like, yeah, it's not really that big of a deal anyway. What we were doing wasn't that dangerous. Well, Doc, I think 6.5 million people in the last 2 years would beg to differ. Right? Is that how many people have died?
No, it can't be that many.
Worldwide?
Deaths?
No, worldwide, I'm saying.
Deaths?
Yeah, is this like 6.5 million?
Really?
Maybe I'm drastically overestimating. Well, because you also have to remember too, I just imagine most of the world doesn't have great medicine and healthcare. And as much shit as we give this country for being like, whoa, well, Canada has free healthcare, why don't we have that? Well, guess what, motherfucker? Our healthcare system is better than Canada's. So I don't care that it's not free because people fly literally from all around the world to come here. People come from India, and India is a fucking superpower. Like they have a great fucking country and system. They're a little overcrowded right now, but we're not going to hold that against them. They fly from India to come to Boston in particular to get certain medical procedures done. So I just assume that most of the world just really doesn't really have the capability to handle this. So like what we've had 300,000 deaths.
So
600,000 deaths.
Let me just give you the numbers. Worldwide, 5.2 million.
Okay, I was close.
United States, 777,000.
Yeah, I was pretty close. So, 5.2 million people would disagree with you, Tony Fauci, that this wasn't really that big of a deal what you were doing. And I know those weren't the exact words that he said, but that's the gist of it. So now, like I said, Tony Fauci has reemerged. You know what he said? We cannot rule out lockdowns moving forward because of this new Omicron variant.
So this is again.
So again, I'm in turn 3, coming through turn 4. I can see the checkered flag. It's in my windshield. Like I said, I got a 2-car lengths lead. I'm going to fucking win this thing.
Did you also hear some of the info coming out from like the details about the variant?
I have heard some. So you tell me what you've heard, and then I'll fill in the gaps if I have anything to fill in.
Not deadly.
Yep.
Mild symptoms.
It's just more transmissible, right? That's the whole thing about it.
And that goes back to whoever the fuck you listen to on Rogan.
Right.
That it's either super deadly, not transmissible, or
Brett Weinstein, who's an evolutionary biologist. Yeah, it's literally his job.
But he's not a politician, though, so we don't know.
Yeah. Do you know what he said on a later episode? I think he's been on a few that I listened to, but he also said, again, Brett Weinstein, evolutionary biologist. This is his job. He's not a virologist, I'll give him that, but he's an evolutionary biologist. He understands how life evolves, right? That's the whole thing. He said, typically, when viruses exist in the world, as they progress and as they mutate, typically they get less deadly and more transmissible. So if you think about it from a common sense perspective, right, this virus is a little thing, like it's made up of cells, right? It's like an organism. If it's so deadly that it kills its host, then it can't spread. So a virus that's very deadly is actually really bad at its job, right? Because all living things want to procreate, right? That's the whole point, is like my DNA will live on in my offspring. Like that's the whole fucking primal like biology thing. So if you have a virus that's extremely deadly and it has a fucking death rate of 80%, well, the virus is going to just die out because it's not going to be able to replicate because it just fucking killed the host. So from an evolutionary perspective, as viruses mutate over time, typically they become less deadly and more transmissible. Why? Because then the virus can live on and replicate in someone's respiratory tract or their body, whatever you want to call it, and then transmit to a different host, replicate again, transmit to a different host. You know what I mean? So now the virus's DNA lives on and the people aren't dying. So now essentially everyone's infected with the virus, which is kind of how herpes works. Because I think it's something like 6 out of every 10 people has herpes or some fucking ridiculous statistic like that. It's really high. Like when you hear the number, I don't know if it's 6 out of 10, but you hear the number and you're like, holy shit, that's really fucking high. Because herpes isn't deadly, right?
Right.
So that's the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just so again, yeah, 67% of the people below 50 have herpes.
Yeah, see, I knew it was really fucking high. That's almost 7 out of every 10 people.
67% of people below
That means for all of you fucks this last weekend that were sitting around the Thanksgiving table, all of your, if you count all of your relatives that are under, what is it, 65?
50.
Under 50? If you count all of your relatives that were under 50 at the Thanksgiving table, 2 out of 3 of them have herpes, statistically. So there you go. Happy fucking Thanksgiving. And then you could do the same game at Christmas. This is great. So now we only got, 3 more weeks until Christmas. So now you guys that are listening, here you go. Here's your fucking information. You just learned this. You missed your opportunity at Thanksgiving, but you got another one coming up in 3 weeks at Christmas. When you sit around, which might actually be better to say it at Christmas than it would be at Thanksgiving. So you all sit down for your Christmas dinner. You're all happy. You're just opening gifts. I want you to turn and count how many people are there under the age of 50, and then multiply that by 0.67. Whatever that number is, I want you to stand up and say, you guys fucking disgust me because 4 of you have herpes. And then just watch your family's reaction. Just see what happens. And they're going to be like, what is this? This is bullshit. You're not doing it. And they go, nope, this is a statistical truth. 67% of all people under the age of 50 have herpes. So if we follow the statistics, 4 of you gross fucks have herpes. I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Imagine standing up at Christmas dinner and going, you people disgust me. And they just look at you and go, what are you, throwing fucking stones now?
That's actually a great way to change the topic if people start talking about politics, right? So like people start talking about like COVID and stupid bullshit. Be like, you guys are fucking disgusting. 4 of you have herpes. There you go. No more COVID talk.
So I guess the problem is when I go to Christmas, I guess 2/3 of me has herpes because I'll be the only person under 50.
Yeah. I mean, do you go to a restaurant?
No.
I was going to say, because
my
a restaurant is a better representation of the public because it's literally
standing up in the middle legal seafood and Cambridge.
Yeah.
And going, you people are fucking disgusting.
You just walk over to someone random, start patting them on the back, be like, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. They make creams for that.
Yeah, it's like Aldous Snow.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I haven't told you because it's not inflamed right now. Dude, so upset of Thanksgiving though. My father. Are we done talking about the variant? Like, are we good with that?
Yeah, we're good. Aside the fact that I think I might have COVID right now, but we're good. That's fine. Sick. Yeah, I'm also being hyperbolic. I'm sick. I started feeling like flu-like symptoms today.
What like symptoms?
Oh, COVID-like symptoms. Sorry, yeah. I forgot. The flu was eradicated. The best thing COVID ever did was eradicate the flu. Yeah, only 600 people died of the flu last year. Can you believe it? Yeah, you know, when you get like, so again, I can say this to you and maybe some people will listening will understand it, but like, you know how you can like feel when your nervous system is like overactive and you can like feel like extra pains that aren't there. Like I can feel like all the pains in my neck and I can feel my fucking displaced rib that I've had for 15 years, but like it hurts more. You know what I mean? Like you get achy. That's so normal people when they call it achy. That's what I'm talking about. Like I can feel that my nervous system is more reactive or active, I guess, than it normally is. So yeah, there you go. So I got Omicron.
Anyway, so yeah, so powering. Well, you probably do because it won't kill you.
Yeah.
So powering through, upset of the holiday. My father had no crazy takes.
I thought about that because I know you texted me and
He didn't have
Jones,
anything.
and you were like, "Oh, I may also provoke it," and I was like, "I support that."
Last year, he was creating his own city.
And then was it 2 years ago? The recycling is a lie.
Oh, he told me that. He told me that down at the cottage one day.
I've adopted that as my own take, by the way. Like, because we have like, because also like, you know, when you recycle shit for the town, like any town that picks up recycling is like, oh, well, don't put your pizza boxes in there because they have grease in them and we can't recycle that. And I'm like, that's fucking stupid. Throw the box in there. Recycling's fake. They just burn it all. They burn it all anyway. Or it sits in a landfill. You know what I mean? Like everyone that's like, well, we have to recycle in order to save the world. Well, if the people took the time to follow the chain of command for where your recycling goes after the fucking truck picks it up in the middle of the street and dumps it in the back, they would never recycle again. They'd be like, this is fucking stupid. It's a waste of time, which yes, it is. But people think that magically that trash truck drives by in the street, fucking clamps on to the fucking recycling bin, flips it in the back of the truck, and then, woo, we're saving squirrels and fucking whales are going to live again. That's not how it works, guys. It goes and sits in a landfill until they burn it. Because recycling, like all the modern plastics, don't degrade. So it just sits in a fucking landfill and leaches into the ground, actually, and poisons the earth. So there you go. There's your fucking recycling tip. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's what my father says. They get it. It sits there. They get a variance to burn it, and then that's that.
Yep.
I don't know what the fuck. So Dalvin Cook just got blown up in the backfield.
Yeah, I saw that. He might be dead.
I don't know why or how he's hurt. Like, I don't know. He might have got his bell rung. I don't know.
Yeah, both teams are on a knee.
He's holding his hamstrings. Like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I kind of want to see that replay. Ooh, he is. He looks like he is in some significant pain. Did he just rip a hamstring?
I don't know what the fuck he did. He got blown up.
All right, let's this is great podcasting, but I don't care.
So here's the play. So
yeah, he got lit up. He's grabbing his armpit immediately. Did he fuck up his back? Maybe like, oh, and then red zone just cut away.
Punctured along.
Yeah. Yeah, he got fucking stood up and blown up, but
then he grabbed his left rib. I don't know. That was weird.
Yeah. And then they were touching his left hamstring too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to break out my anatomy trains book to figure that one out.
Fine. Yeah.
Ra's al Ghul just had a pick six in the Green Bay game.
Yeah. So anyway, nothing crazy coming from my father, but my grandmother, who's 87, I think.
Yeah.
She's like, can you explain this whole woke thing to me? I look back at her and I go, probably not.
Yeah, well, I was going to say you can solve that in 2 words. Your 2 words also work, but I was going to say it's stupid.
And then now this is where things get good, because she's like, so like obviously Columbus is the big one.
Yeah.
So, and she's like, so someone came over here, like hundreds of years ago, and they weren't a good person. So we just don't teach what happened.
Yeah. Yep.
We just get rid of them. I'm like, yeah, basically.
So I guess we should also probably stop teaching ancient history too, because I don't know if people realize this, but ancient history is pretty fucking terrible, man. Like it was literally all slavery. It was the winners and then just slaves. It was like, and then if the winners lost, they became slaves. Like there was no like real kind of like middle class, really. Like that really didn't become a thing until like probably Renaissance age in Europe. It was like my tribe is going to fight this tribe. We're either going to kill all of you and rape your women, or if we decide to save some of you, we're going to keep you as slaves. Like,
Yep.
that's pretty
Shouldn't
much
teach
how
about
ancient
Egypt.
history went.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about Egypt. They're canceled.
Well, not really, because everyone hates the Jews. So
If there's one constant in history,
seriously, if there's one constant in the last 5,000 years, it's that everyone hates the Jews.
so but then my grandfather, not my grandfather, my fucking uncle. I don't have a grandfather. My uncle. I just feel like it's such an old person take, but I guess they're also not that young either.
Yeah.
He's like, well, then I guess we need an Italian American Day because that's what it used to be. And I'm like, no, we fucking don't. We do not need a fucking Italian American Day.
Yeah.
If there's anything,
that's the typical response from like people that get butthurt over stuff, right? So this is on both sides. We see it on the political world, right? That's the response where like, well, you have to do it like this. And they're like, well, if you're going to do that, then I'm going to do this, which is more grandiose. And then you like, really the only way to stop that is be like, oh, that's what you want to do. You can shut the fuck up and everyone's going to ignore you. That's how you get it to stop. You don't like try and one up them on the other side. You know what I mean? Like you don't try and swing the pendulum further in the other direction. You just stop the pendulum from swinging. So
yeah, but
we need an Italian American Day.
Yeah, we need an Italian American Day. And I can assure you, if there's anything that we fucking do not need, it's that. Like, we really could do without that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or just make it the St. Anthony's feast, because that's what it is anyway.
It might as well. Which even like at least in the Boston region, you get an entire month. You get an entire month of August. Every Saturday is a fucking feast. It's like, oh, this is the Fisherman's Feast, or this is St. Anthony's Feast, or this is fucking St. Christopher's Feast, or this is the other feast. Like, how many feasts do we need? Every Saturday, you guys are fucking doing something.
Yep, every Saturday for like the entire summer.
Yeah, from like the last weekend in July until the weekend before Labor Day is a fucking feast in the North End.
So overrated too.
Yeah. It's fun. It was fun to go to when we were younger, like we were in high school. But then I went again. I think it was just the novelty of like going somewhere when we were teenagers, right? Because you don't really travel that far. So anytime you go into Boston, it's like, oh, I'm 17. Like I'm going into Boston. Like it's going to be fun. We're going to like sneak alcohol and like have fun and do some stupid shit, like whatever. And then I went again. I don't know. I was probably like 23-ish. Like I was in my early 20s and I was like, wow, this is not as cool as it used to be.
Yeah, you're probably right, because I think I went when I was like 20 and I'm like wandering around. I'm like, why do people think this is so much fun? Like, I just remember thinking that. I go, why is this supposed to be fun?
Yeah, I think it's mostly like the novelty factor of it, you know? And like being in a big event without any adult supervision.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I also used to think Boston was a lot cooler when I was a kid, because it's like, ooh, I took the train to get here.
Yeah, that's what we used to do too, right? Like in middle school, I was explaining this to people that I work with the other day. Or no, maybe it was Amy's family at Thanksgiving. I don't know. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, being like, yeah, man, like when I was a kid, I was like 14, like we used to all get dropped off at Wellington Station, which is in Medford, and it wasn't far from my house. And we would ride, like our parents would like give us money, and we would buy, at that time it was tokens, but we would get the train tokens. we would hop on the Orange Line in Wellington, ride it all the way into North Station, and then go watch a Bruins or a Celtics game. But at that time, the Bruins and the Celtics were so bad, you could buy tickets at the booth before the game. So we would go, we would buy the $10 tickets for the 300 section. And then, depending if it was basketball or hockey, by the second period or halftime, we would scout for better seats. And we would go down. Like, there were times where we sat probably like, I don't know, 20, 30 rows from the floor for the Celtics. Now, granted, the Celtics probably lost like 120-72, but like, we're 14, 15, 16 years old, like 30 rows up from the floor at an NBA game. Like, that was pretty cool, right? Or like at a Bruins game, we're like 10 rows back from the glass. You know, like that's pretty fucking cool. So, but like people, because whoever I was explaining that to, they were like, whoa, like, really? I'm like, yeah, like I literally grew up, like I didn't grow up in fucking the city, like in Boston, but like it's literally a fucking stone's throw from the city.
Yeah, again, like I could walk down to the train and I would be in North Station. Like, but even I was even remembering, so when I went to like in the summer, I would do the Boys and Girls Club, like just for the day.
Yeah.
And it was in Arlington. So we would hop on the bike trail. We would walk to Alewife, get on the train, and we'd go into Boston for the day, doing God knows what.
Yeah.
So it's like, we used to do shit like that. And it's like, oh, well, I know Boston, whatever. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, I don't know fucking anything in Boston. I don't know anything. I don't know anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking like it. Actually, I could probably still walk. What was my spot? From Quincy Market, I could walk to Fenway.
Yeah.
And I could also go from Fenway to the Garden. I used to be able to do that. I actually don't know if I can do it anymore.
Yeah. It's relatively the same area. Like the Garden and Quincy Market is like a 10-minute walk apart from each other. They're relatively close. It's probably in some times of day, it's probably faster to walk from Quincy Market to the Garden than it is to drive because Boston sucks so much. And there's like random fucking streets that are one way that aren't marked one way. That was fun. The first time I started like working in Boston, like having cases in there, it was right by the government center garage. Now, there's since been some construction reworking of the streets, but if anyone knows the area that I'm talking about, it's like you're going from like Quincy Market towards the Garden. You just pass like the Bell in Hand on the right, and the government center garage is on the left. And I'm like, all right, well, I need to go like up there. So I like bang a left at the set of lights to go like up the hill where the BPD is. And yeah, that's a one way coming down the hill. So I had to figure out real fucking quick once traffic started barrel assing down that hill to swing the fucking car around and go a different way. Luckily, that's like a 5-lane fucking road. So it's almost like they know, but like it's not marked. It wasn't marked at the time. You know what I mean? Like there was nothing that said do not enter. Like it didn't say one way. There was no sign at the set of lights with like the left-hand turn with the fucking line through it. Nothing. It was like, oh, I'm going this way. And now all of a sudden, like, there's fucking oncoming traffic.
Love that. That's probably the best.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've since gotten a lot better at navigating, but I still fucking hate Boston. I fucking hate driving around there. It sucks.
That's the other thing, too, is like, I wouldn't drive. But I'm also like, it's so fucking annoying to get in there.
Yeah, it is.
I live 2 minutes from fucking Hyde Park, which is Boston. Like on the sign, it says entering Boston.
Yep.
For me to get downtown, it's the world's biggest fucking pain in the ass. Like, fuck.
Yeah. So like, I'm actually, I mean, we could maybe workshop through some shit right now, but I'll drop it out on the show. I've actually been applying to some new jobs, and one of the places that I've been looking at, I haven't actually applied to this yet, but I've been looking at DraftKings. So DraftKings has a few positions. They have like 5 or 6 positions that I have like saved in my like saved jobs thing on their website. And I think 2 or 3 of them are full remote. So I'm like, that would be pretty dope. I have no idea what the pay is and like what the job entails, but it says fully remote. One of them is like it's called VIP management for the state of Arizona. So I would imagine that I would deal with like any customers that pay the VIP membership that live in the state of Arizona, but like that's a fully remote job. Like there's some stuff in there that's like looks pretty cool, but then I look at it and I'm like, yo, their office is in the Back Bay, and like I just don't want to commute to the Back Bay. Like I already hate commuting twice a week to Dorchester, which is technically south of the city. Like commuting into the Back Bay would fucking blow. Never mind, like where the fuck am I going to park my Tacoma?
Not that again. So let's pretend that you're willing to do this. Is there a train even remotely close to where you are?
I would have to either take the purple line from Attleboro and go the whole way in, or I would have to drive to Forest Hills in Dorchester and take the orange line straight into Back Bay. So with the purple line from Attleboro, I would have to take that to South Station, change over to the orange line, take the orange line to Back Bay.
I was saying orange.
The orange line goes directly, it has to stop at Back Bay.
You'd have to go to South, get out of South Station, walk up the street to Downtown Crossing.
Yeah.
And get on Orange to go over.
Yeah, yeah. Because Orange does not go to South Station. That's right.
Red line.
So it's almost like, it's one of those things like I would potentially end up just driving to Forest Hills and getting on the orange line there, but that's also like Dorchester. Like that's Franklin Park. Like Forest Hills is on the other side of Franklin Park.
Beautiful, dude.
Yeah. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like what the fuck?
Nice place.
Yeah.
Yeah, full remote might sound a little bit better.
Yeah. I just don't know what the job entails and like, how much it would pay. I'm assuming I just also hear fully remote and think like it's going to pay like shit. But that's not always the case. So
yeah, I have no clue what.
Because they are also a massive fucking corporation too.
Yeah, I have no idea what a company like that would pay. Probably wouldn't be allowed to bet on sports though.
No, I know. And I told Amy that, and I was like, dude, if they pay me well enough, like, well, I didn't say dude to her, but I was like, if they pay me well enough, I don't have to fucking bet on sports ever again. You want to pay my bills? Cool. I'm done. I suck at it anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. Like I said, I haven't applied to any of them yet, but I know 2 people that work there. One of them's actually like in a managerial role too. My Grant, remember Grant?
Yeah.
He does something. He's worked there for like 4 years. I forget what exactly he does. He might be in like account management or like customer experience or something. He's like a mid-level manager in like whatever he's doing. And then Colby works there now too. So.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's not like a bad. I don't know. I guess it depends on what you're doing. So, like I hear DraftKings, I go, it wouldn't be bad. I mean, you're interested in what they do, but
right,
your job actually wouldn't really have anything to do with what they
do. No.
Sounds like your job would be customer service.
Yeah.
Which
again is fine as long as it pays well enough.
The subject is.
Yeah.
Because like if you're doing customer service for sports betting or if you're doing customer service for fucking vacuum sales, it doesn't matter. It's still customer service.
Right. You're going to deal with people that are idiots.
It's like, oh, my vacuum doesn't suck or blow. Well, okay. Well, I can get over there right now.
Hold on. What's your address?
Yeah. If you It sucks or blows. I'll be there.
Yeah. So, I'll probably figure that out. I have two interviews. I have like one phone interview and one like Zoom interview. One of them's tomorrow, and then I think the other one's going to be on Tuesday. But those are both with back in the fitness world. Apparently,
no.
so I've applied to. I'm no bullshit. I created an account on Indeed, and I have applied to 15 different jobs on Indeed. The ones that I've heard, not surprisingly, the ones that I've heard back from are all in the fitness industry because apparently I look really good in the fitness world and nowhere else.
So gross.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of them would be to be the fitness director at Fit Factory over by where we used to live in Foxborough.
Yeah.
And then the other one would be the director of health and wellness at the North Attleboro YMCA, which would be pretty dope because it's like 10 minutes from my house. Not that Fit Factory is further. It's like 15, 20.
So gross.
Yeah, no, I know. It's one of those where it's like, again, depending on the pay and the hours, because that's another thing. You go back into the fitness world. Well, now Saturdays are back into play. It's not a Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. It's
dude, fitness director it not only brings Saturdays in, it brings Sundays in.
Well, no, I applied to this job before. Right after we bought the house, actually. I applied to the exact same gym, the Fit Factory. This was before I was a member there. And they offered me the job then, but it was one of those like they were still a really new company. Like the gym had only been in Foxborough for less than a year, I think. And so like part of the offer package like didn't really have health insurance or benefits or anything. And I would have left, where I work now is full time with great benefits and all this shit. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that. And it's like I was single at the time too, like I couldn't go on someone else's insurance. Because when I talked to the guy that offered me the job, he was like, yeah, I'm going to be really honest. We're still like a really new company. We're growing. They've since opened like 3 other gyms, 1 in Massachusetts and 2 in Texas. But he told me then, he was like, yeah, we're opening some new gyms and like most of the upper management that works here, they're all on their spouses' benefits, like insurance package. So we really haven't had a need to really kind of button that up, but we recognize that like that's something we need to do moving forward. And I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry, I can't take this job. But I do know what it entails, right? It's the typical like, Monday through Friday. Well, as the fitness director, it's more Monday through Friday from like 9 to 12, and then from like 3 to 6 or 2 to 6. And then Saturdays is from, I think, 8 to 12 or something like that, 8 to 11, but no Sundays. So it's the typical, well, outside of the typical, because as the fitness director, I'm not there at 6 a.m. That was the one thing I do remember. He was like, yeah, you come in like either 8 or 9 o'clock, depending on what you have to do that day. And then you kind of get the middle of the day to kind of do whatever you want. And then you kind of have to be here, for the afternoon.
So gross.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
So gross.
So we'll see how that goes. I also applied to be for 2 positions at this marijuana dispensary that is opening up literally less than a mile and a half from my house. Haven't heard back from them yet. Again, not surprising. But I applied as the retail manager and the general manager over there. And yeah, radio silence from them as well. That would have been fucking sick. Obviously, like it's cool because it's a dispensary and all that shit, but like to be like a general manager or like a retail manager also is kind of cool. So both of them would have paid more than what I make now. So that's also kind of cool. But yeah, we'll see.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. It's one of those like I don't know. It might be like a judgment call thing. Like I said, like I have the YMCA thing tomorrow as like a Zoom call. And it might be like, hey, we're gonna offer you this, and like, when can you start? I may have to just say no, which is fine. You know what I mean? I'm not really in a position where like I need a job yet. I will need one after January 3rd. But in the meantime, you know what I mean? It's not like I have to be out like this week. I need a job now.
True.
So we'll see. I just I don't know. There's something in me. Like I've had this internal struggle, right? This is why I was like, maybe I'll get your opinion on it. Um, like I keep telling myself like there's a reason why I left the fitness industry, but then at the same time I'm like, it's like what I'm good at though.
Dude, I don't know. I like well, so here's the thing. You need to go work somewhere.
Yeah.
So like, do you really want to do customer service for a fucking gambling company? Like, do you really want to?
Not particularly.
Or yeah. Well, because again, it's like take DraftKings out of it.
Yeah.
Like working for DraftKings isn't nearly as cool as like Ian writes for a gambling website and he's still allowed to gamble on the side.
Right.
That's a lot cooler than again working in fucking IT for the company, because it's like, what do? I blow on the fucking computer when it doesn't work.
Yeah. When the server goes down, I take out the cartridge and blow on it and put it back in.
It's like, oh, what do you? It's like, oh, I work at DraftKings. Oh, cool. What do? I sweep the floors.
Yeah. I work at DraftKings. Oh, what do? Oh, I handle all the accounts in fucking Arizona.
It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's just the fitness industry is fucking cesspool, obviously.
No, yeah, I know. That's why the YMCA has a little bit more appeal to me. I think obviously the money would be a lot less than Fit Factory, and would probably be less than what I make now. But it's not. I don't know. I'm just assuming it's not like a fucking bullshit. You know, like obviously how the sports performance world is. Everyone's a fucking snake oil salesman, and everyone is, the greatest gift to the fucking industry in the world, and they're smarter than everyone else. But I feel like at a YMCA, like you kind of don't really deal with that culture as much. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't even know what one would be better or not better. I really have no clue.
Yeah,
because I don't know what either job really entails either.
Because it would be cool too. Like, and again, I would have to, kind of workshop this with the people in the interview. But if from my standpoint, I would enjoy a job more along the lines of like training the trainer, right? So like if I am like the director of health and wellness at the YMCA, if like a majority of my job is like educating the personal trainers that work for me, like I would enjoy that, right? Because it's like a teaching role. And it's what I did at Bridgewater. Like I loved, if I could have somehow pulled off being a full-time fucking professor with just a master's degree, I would have fucking loved that. Like I loved that. Like teaching was like teaching at Bridgewater outside of like the politics and the behind the scenes shit with the other professors there that are a bunch of fucking cunts. Like that was the best. You know what I mean? Like if I could have done that for the rest of my life, I would have been so fucking pumped. So, if I could turn either one of those roles into something similar to that, like I would enjoy that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. You figure, yeah, again, because I don't know what the director of health and wellness does. Like,
I don't either. Yeah. I do know, I do have a decent idea of what the fitness director does at Fit Factory. Like I said, I went through the hiring process before. So like I understand that has a lot of, it is more of like a managerial, right? Like you get commission from the trainers that work from you. You also do some desk work. And then you also, like, during the week, I think they said have anywhere between 5 and 10 sessions a week with your own clients. So like the Fit Factory job, I know, is like, it's a bunch of shit, like all in one. You know what I mean? Like you do books, you do coaching, and you also do personal training.
Yeah, I got for the YMCA thing, I just have no clue.
Yeah.
But actually, I think we went to college with someone, or I played frisbee with someone who was like Caleb and Andy's age. I think he was like the director of health and wellness in the Easton location at one point.
Oh, really?
But again, I just don't know. Like, I don't talk to that person anymore at all. But
Yeah.
I just don't even know what it fucking constitutes.
Me neither, to be honest. So I don't know. I would really like to hear back for some other fucking job. Well, I have heard back from now when I applied to 15 different places, like a lot of them were like fucking crazy. Like I applied to be like the district or the regional manager at Public Storage, like the fucking storage company. Like they emailed me back and was like, hey, thanks for your application, but we're not moving forward with you. And I was like, yeah, no, totally get it. Like I'm just kind of fucking, throwing a bunch of shit against the wall and seeing what's going to stick. There was another one, the operations manager or like the branch manager of like a mattress firm. They emailed me back and was like, yeah, we don't think you're a fit. So I was like, yep. Yeah, I don't think I probably am either, but it's worth a shot. You know what I mean? It's like one of those where like the worst they're going to do is say no. So fuck it, just apply.
Dude, go work at shit. What did I just see? I just saw some places hiring positions starting at $17 an hour. And I'm like,
yeah. Sick.
Where the fuck was I? I have no clue.
I did text Jamie though. I was like,
did he answer you?
Oh yeah. I was like, hey, are you guys hiring right now? I don't, but I could go get one.
No, did he tell you go get your CDL?
Oh no, he didn't say that. But I was like, hey, you guys hiring right now? Because I knew like it's wintertime and it's usually slow for them. And he was like, fuck yeah, we're always hiring. And I was like, all right, I might be looking for a job pretty soon. So I'm just kind of get the feelers out there. And he was like, yeah, you want to like join the grind? And I was like, potentially, man, like, I don't know how this is going to go, but you know what I mean? Like that might be one of those, like, if I say no to everything and don't get a good job and January 3rd rolls around and I get fired, it's like, all right, Jamie, I can start, tomorrow.
Yeah, I can start yesterday.
Yeah. And then, join that fucking 4 a.m. life.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing though. He is usually done pretty early.
Yeah. And the good thing is, like, I live roughly 12 minutes from the office.
Yeah.
Because I think they have to go meet. They obviously meet there in the morning. So.
Yeah, meet at the shop and then hop in the trucks.
Yeah. I could do that for 6, 9, 12 months. It would obviously not be great, but I could fucking suck it up and do it.
True.
While I apply for the general manager of mattress firm again.
What I'm saying is like you're like, oh, I could maybe go work there 6, 9, 12 months. And I'm like, you make it sound like the alternatives are so fucking good.
Oh no, I know. So
and they do rate work and they pay like actual overtime and shit.
Right.
So
yeah, and then there's the occasional, like, I remember like Jamie and his crew would get sent somewhere like wicked fucking far away, and then they would just stay there for 4 days. You know what I mean? Like they would get a hotel for 4 days.
Yeah.
and then work Monday through Thursday. They'd work 4 10s and then they would come home Thursday night.
Yeah, and if it's up to Jamie, instead of working like 5/8, it's like, no, we'll do 4 10s or 3 12s. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah.
Just get me the fuck out of Western Mass.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, interesting week for you.
Yeah, pretty solid. So, like I said, I got plenty of time. You know, they sent my work sent out the thing that January 3rd will be, if you are not vaccinated on this day, you will your employment will be terminated. So
right.
I've got
that 408B or whatever the fuck you
yeah,
have.
the 403B.
Yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah, the retirement. Yeah.
The nonprofit 401k.
Yeah. Well, I don't really need that because I've already looked at, like, I've planned in a worst case scenario. I have so much fucking vacation time that I have like I think I have 6 weeks of vacation. So if I get terminated, I get that in a check. Now, obviously I have to pay taxes on it, but like I'll get a fat check for 6 weeks worth of my salary. So then that would also theoretically buy me another 6 weeks. So like I wouldn't really like, have to start sucking dick under the fucking freeway until like the middle of February.
Oh, no, I wasn't meaning like you got to cash out because you need the cash. I was saying you're not going to be working for a nonprofit again. So.
Oh, yeah.
Go transfer that to.
Yeah, go turn it into a 401k. Yeah. But so like my work will hold on to that up to a year after I leave. So whenever I get a new job, if they have something, I can just fucking call whoever it is and be like, hey, you want to just roll this over? Like I just have to give them the information and they just roll over the
account. You can do it yourself. You can just open an account with whoever and just move it.
Yeah, well, I'm saying like if I get a job with a company that has a company sponsored retirement account, like tomorrow I could close my 403B with my job and just open up a Roth IRA like myself and just and roll all the money into there. Like that's easy. But I'm saying like if whatever company I end up working for, if they have what the fuck is the word? A company sponsored retirement, I would just call the rep at whatever company we use. Like I have Voya right now, but say it's like fucking Fidelity. I would call Fidelity and be like, hey, here's my account information. Fucking roll it over.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah. So it's not that hard. So something to keep an eye on.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, fun stuff.
So we finished the house watch and now we're on job watch.
Yeah, it's pretty great, right? It's never ending. The shit storm is never ending.
Oh, well, why would it?
No, of course not. Which also kind of like we could get close to wrapping this up, but also brings up a valid point from what Jones was saying in our fucking group text earlier when he was wearing the fucking sad boy t-shirt. And someone was like, oh, dude, why are you wearing that? And he goes, because the world sucks and everything is the worst. And they're like, oh my God, you're not really depressed, are you? It's like, dude, fuck off. Like, we can't even make jokes now. Like, and also, like, that's what my response to him was, oh, depression is the new AIDS. Because, like, everyone's afraid of it, right? Like, this guy had the balls to look at Jones and be like, you're not really depressed, are you? Like, well, one, he's not. Like, but two, like, what if he was? Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like you're going to catch it. It's like fucking dealing with AIDS, like in the 80s, which, this is a callback to the beginning of the show, was also completely mismanaged and mishandled by one Tony Fauci. He fucked the entire AIDS thing up in the 80s. He was telling people that you could catch it by contact.
Couldn't have been him.
Yeah.
Must have been somebody else.
Yeah. But either way, yeah. What did he say? The world is a shitstorm and everything sucks or something like that.
I forget.
Yeah, that was just about it. Yep. So there you go. You want to start wrapping this up?
We can wrap this up. All right. So I've had this on the sheet for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Ideal tortilla shape or ideal tortilla chip shape.
Okay.
What do you got?
I like the rectangle. To be really specific, now I don't know if anyone actually is going to know this.
You're going to say the same fucking thing I was going to say. I already fucking know it.
The Green Mountain Gringo
Yep.
chips. Yep.
The strip, like the
strips.
The narrow rectangles.
Yeah, the rectangles. Yeah.
Do we have anything else on here?
No, I mean, we can just rip on people that like other shit because they're stupid. Well, like anyone that comes at you that says like the fucking scoops, like you can get fucked. Scoops are the worst fucking chip shape ever. Wrong. Like if you like slicing the inside of your mouth and you're a fucking psychopath, then go ahead and say that you like the fucking scoops.
That's where Tostitos restaurant style are the worst. The chips are too big to eat in one bite.
Yep.
So they dry the fuck out of your mouth and lips.
Yep.
They cut the insides of your mouth. It's fucking awful.
Yeah.
Now scoops, although not great, I can live because they're bite size.
Yeah, until you go to bite and it fucking crushes the roof of your mouth.
Well, so like I said, that's a problem. But
yeah.
At least they are in fact bite size. The restaurant style ones are fucking the worst.
Yeah.
They're the most common.
And the circle ones are just not good for what they do. Like if you go to use a circle one and dip, like you're going to have stuff fall off on all sides. It's literally a fucking circle, right? So like shit can fall off on all sides of the circle and you just make a mess. And then people are like, oh, that's cool. He forgot his helmet at home. He doesn't know how to eat fucking nachos. Like,
yeah, no, honestly, like the circle ones are really should only be reserved for like the movie theater where you're going to be eating like microwaved queso.
Yeah, microwave cheese. Call it what it is. It's
whatever that. Like that's the thing is like I don't want to call it cheese because I don't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that was gonna be like my big thing. I was gonna say, well, the right answer is actually the Green Mountain Gringo has the rectangles.
Yeah.
And those are the best because they're the easiest to eat. They dip the best. But now we got nothing. So I'm gonna pivot, which I also have written down here. Netflix.
Yes.
Bad Sport. It's a series of different things.
I saw this the other day when I was scrolling through.
And I watched the first episode, which was the point shaving scandal at Arizona State in like 1994 or something. Worth a watch.
Okay.
Mostly because they have the actual people involved.
Oh, shit.
So it was really like, it was a point guard, a shooting guard, and then the bookie. And there were some other people involved too, but the bookie, technically it wasn't a bookie. It was, maybe it was a bookie. I don't know. But basically it was like, there was the guy with the money who was telling the point guard what they needed to win by at most.
Yeah.
So if they were favored by 12 and he took them, he'd say, you can't win. Nope, he did it the other way. He would take the other team. He goes, you can't win by more than 6 or whatever. And they'd win by exactly by 6 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But like the guy who was putting the money in all the casinos, because it was 1994, you had to go to the sports books.
Right.
So the guy who was paying the cash was interviewed. The point guard, the shooting guard were interviewed. Other teammates were interviewed. Pretty good. Because usually when you have shit like that, it's like not everyone's involved.
Yeah, or it's like the guy who wrote the book on the situation, or like the journalist that covered it in the newspaper at the time.
Yeah, or like, well, someone chose to remain anonymous.
Yeah. Yeah.
The guys were actually involved. And
it's pretty cool.
There's some other things too that I guess are pretty good. I only watched that one, but it's out there. It's on Netflix.
I'll have to check it out. It's called Bad Sport, right?
Bad Sport, and the first episode is the point shaving.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I saw it the other day. I watched that movie Red Notice with The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and Gal Gadot. And I saw that on Netflix when I was scrolling through the Bad Sport thing. That was okay. It's pretty good. You know what I mean? Like it's like it wasn't like, oh my God, this is an awesome movie that everyone needs to watch. It was pretty cool. It gets you at the end. It's pretty good. Like the ending is pretty good. And the movie itself is fine because you have The Rock and Ryan Reynolds and all that shit. You know what I mean? Like it's a good movie. Like it's not gonna wait. You're not gonna finish the movie and be like, oh, I just wasted 2 hours.
Yeah.
But you're also not gonna be like, oh my God, that was an amazing fucking movie either. But yeah, Red Notice on Netflix. But my actual final thought is this is important that it comes out on this episode, which is coming out tomorrow, which is Monday, which is today for you guys, November 29th. This is very special day for me. And this is really a weird way to say this, but it's a interesting day for me. And I know in particular, Sexy Chris out there who's listening, today begins the trial of one Ghislaine Maxwell, who, if you didn't know, if you live under a fucking rock, was the right-hand man, or I guess we have to be woke. So the right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein.
Right-hand person.
Yeah, the right-hand person of Jeffrey Epstein, who people forget did not kill himself. Back in, was that 2018 or 2019?
I don't even know now, dude. I feel like it's been...
Yeah, time warp. I don't know. It was either 18 or 19.
It feels like a really long time ago, but that could be just because 2020 took fucking 6 years to go by.
Yeah. So either way, right? Jeffrey Epstein, piece of shit, pedophile, all this stuff, had a lot of dirt on a lot of people, allegedly. And then was found dead of suicide. When the files that were just released recently, which is interesting because we're about to start this trial. I think last week they released some prison files on Epstein, where like 2 or 3 days before he was found allegedly dead of suicide, he quoted and wrote down, "Life is great. I have no desires to end my life at all. The only thing I really miss is my lavish lifestyle and hanging out with celebrities. But prison's not all that bad." And then, 3 days later, he was found hung with a sheet. So the reason why this is important is because this is potentially going to bring down some massive names. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a massive letdown for myself and for people that are hoping for a just trial, right? So I'm trying to find this on Twitter. Trying to do two things at once, not so good. So the trial starts today, right? They're going to run through everything. However, to back up a little bit, the judge who is presiding over this case was nominated by President Joe Biden for a promotion to a higher federal court level than what she is currently in. Now, some people might look at that and be like, why is that? Why did that happen? Some people might break out the tinfoil hat and say, we're already starting this as a cover up, right? Because if you watch enough movies, this is how it works, right? The guy comes up, maybe it's the president, maybe it's, some sketchy senator in all these movies, and they're like, I'll nominate you for a promotion. You have to rule the right way in this case. And there's a certain group of people that cannot be let out to the public that were involved in this case. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just a fucking moron, right? I don't know anything. But if I were to guess, why the week before the trial starts would President Biden nominate this judge for a promotion? I don't know. You got any ideas?
I don't have any ideas. I'm just an idiot.
Yeah, me too. So, and that was the big thing. So she's nominated for a promotion. However, it was announced that she will still finish the trial. She's going to see this through to the end. Despite her promotion to a higher level, she's not going to pass this off to another judge. So here again, if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, that means it's a witch and we have to fucking drown it. Right?
Yeah.
So we're already starting this up to be bullshit. Now, there's some people out there that are freaking out right now because it was just announced like today or yesterday that there's going to be no video available. So you can't watch the trial anywhere. There's no cameras allowed in the courtroom. And some people are like, oh, see, but I found out that apparently in federal court, that's standard procedure, right? Like they just don't allow cameras in federal courthouses anyway. However, what you can do is call a phone number and type in a pin that's posted on like the interweb somewhere, and you can listen. So they will have full audio recordings, but you can't watch. So it's going to be interesting to follow this. Another thing, there is a Twitter account that I'm trying to find. I've been trying to search for on Twitter, but I have not, because this thing is probably shadow banned. I am having a really difficult time finding it, right? So it's called, I just got it. It's called the Maxwell Trial Tracker on Twitter. Its tag is at Tracker Trial. So that's at TRACKER TRIAL at Tracker Trial on Twitter. This account will be essentially live tweeting the facts from the case as it goes out. So I'm assuming whoever this person is, because this is also how I found out that there was a phone number that you can call to listen. So I'm assuming that this person is just going to be listening to the audio of this trial and then tweeting about it. They also have a backup account, which they've posted just in case. That's at Trial Ghislaine. You can see it on that Twitter. I'm not going to spell that out for you either. But at Tracker Trial on Twitter, it's the Maxwell Trial Tracker. All major media outlets are silent on it. Big name politicians are using their power within to silence the truth. That's the tag underneath, which is true, right? No news. What news company is talking about this? Why is this not all over the headlines? Why is this not the lead, right? This is like mass pedophilia. This is widespread fucking disgusting people that are potentially going to go down in this trial. Their names will be brought up. Like, there's going to be some shit, right? Like, forever, people wanted to know what those 26 flights were with Bill Clinton flying on Jeffrey Epstein's jet. Well, you know, the flight logs that show that, all 26 flights with Bill Clinton and Jeffrey Epstein, you know what other name was also on all 26? Ghislaine Maxwell. So Jeffrey Epstein's dead, allegedly, if you believe some people.
The guy's dead.
He's dead. He's not, and if he isn't, he's not going to ever fucking talk about what happened. We have the potential to find out some really fucked up shit, right? And we have the potential to take down some super fucking powerful people because they do gross, disgusting shit. And I've said this before on the show. I don't give a fuck who it is, right? If it ever was found out that, like, so, you know what I mean? Like anybody, like a fucking, it doesn't matter. Like some awesome fucking president, right? Teddy Roosevelt. If it ever came out that Teddy Roosevelt was a fucking pedophile and used to diddle little boys, fuck that guy. He's a piece of shit. You know what I mean? Like there's no sacred cows when it comes to this shit, right? This is the most vile, disgusting thing ever. When you prey on children, right? Like that's fucked up, right? Because they can't defend themselves mentally or physically, right? You can fucking convince a 13-year-old to do a lot of dumb shit. Or you can scare them into doing it because they're not going to beat you up either. You know what I mean? So physically and mentally, it's fucked up. It's gross. More people need to be talking about it and need to be aware of it. And mainstream media will not cover it, which again, you go back to Dan Holloway says this all the time because they say it in like military intelligence stuff. It's cui bono, right? It's a Latin term and it means who benefits. So it's a real thing. Cui bono. Who benefits from not having this covered in the media? The fucking piece of shit scumbags, politicians, whoever they are worldwide that are involved in this. And I hope they all fucking go down. And I don't care who it is. I mean, like, if fucking Joe Biden somehow is entangled in this, and that means that we're left with Kamala Harris as president, good. I would rather have 28% approval Kamala Harris than a fucking piece of shit pedophile leading the country, who at this point has vascular dementia and really isn't a threat to anybody anyway. But it doesn't matter because if he was involved in anything, same thing. I said this before about Trump. If Trump was ever involved to be involved in this shit, fuck him too. He's a piece of shit. There's no party lines drawn here. If you're involved in this shit, you deserve to fucking die, in my opinion. So it's interesting. I will be following it very closely at Trial Tracker on Twitter if you guys want to follow it yourself. I'm sure I'll provide updates along the way too.
Yeah. Just let me know what I need to know.
Yeah. So that starts today if you're listening to this on Monday. So it's going to be interesting. A lot of people are saying she's not going to live to fucking Thursday. I saw one meme where it was like, I don't know, I think it was like a fake like epitaph or whatever. And it was like Ghislaine Maxwell died November 29th, 2021 from a heart attack. It's like, you know, like it's just fucking crazy at this point. So it needs to be out there. People need to talk about it. People need to know the truth, in my opinion, because this is fucking ridiculous. They're all pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what actually comes out. I hope something does. I hope it just doesn't turn into like a big nothingness.
Yeah. So the other thing too, that I think is a stunt, right, is the judge also came out and ordered a media gag order, right? They're like, well, the media can't be, you know, giving out sensitive information. I think that's a bullshit move, right? I think this judge is already in someone's pocket, whoever that is, which is why she was promoted, but then was like, but I'm going to stay on the bench for this one. I'm not going to take my new job quite yet. I'm going to see this one out because I'm a good person and I care. Yeah. I'm going to give a fair trial. Yeah, totally. Now this same judge is like, well, the media can't release any sensitive information. So now this is why accounts like at Trial Tracker on Twitter are important. But like I said, I think it's a farce because I think the media didn't want to cover it anyway, right? So now they have an excuse. Well, we can't we can't release any sensitive information because the judge issued a gag order. You know, we can't release. Oh, the media can't go in. We can't talk about it. I think that's a bullshit fucking thing too. I think that was set up as well. So now it's a built-in excuse for the media to not fucking cover it. So again, pay attention. Open your fucking eyes, people. There's a lot of fuckery going on.
Ain't gonna stop either.
No, it's not. But the more people that are aware of it will at least be aware of it, right? And when shit happens, they're not like, oh my God, can you believe we have to go into another lockdown because this Omicron variant's pretty bad? They're like, dude, this thing isn't a fucking problem. Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean? Like, the more people that are educated on something, the more they're going to be like, this, what the fuck is actually going on? So, I don't know. That's all I got. So, on that note, thank you to mybookie.com. I don't know if they have any bets you can make on the trial, but you should go to mybookie.com and find out. Let me know. You can sign up using our promo code SarcasmPod, and they will double your first deposit up to $1,000. So mybookie.com, promo code SarcasmPod, doubles your first deposit over there. Then, again, we just came off of Thanksgiving. We're moving into Christmas. You guys are going to be cooking up some shit. Go to grillyourassoff.com. Use the same promo code SarcasmPod over there for 15% off your entire order. They have the best seasonings. I used it again tonight. Just about every time I cook, I use this stuff. They're amazing. They have like 10 different seasoning flavors, styles, however, whatever you want to call it. Something for everybody and everything. They got barbecue sauces, t-shirts, hats, mugs. They have all kinds of stuff over there at grillyourassoff.com. So use our promo code SarcasmPod for 15% off your entire order. Every single time you check out, it is not a one-time use. It is a multiple use coupon. SarcasmPod, grillyourassoff.com. So you can get us on Instagram at SarcasmSpeaksPod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. Our Facebook page is just Sarcasm Speaks. Subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now, give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment. If you use Apple Podcasts, which like almost 70% of you do, go to the iTunes store, please. Leave us 5 stars and a review. All of the engagement helps move us up in the visibility rankings and all that shit. So we get more organic views. Big shout out to whoever listens to us in Arkansas. You stuck around after you downloaded all those episodes. Remember, there was that one time where I was like, holy shit, we got 46 downloads from Arkansas. And it was like probably just one person who subscribed. And they just automatically downloaded a bunch. So thank you to our one fan in Arkansas. I challenge you to find one other person to listen to the show as well. And then we will have made a 100% increase in our listeners in Arkansas. So the challenge rests on your shoulders, friend.
We're going to take over Arkansas. One person tells one friend, and then that person tells one friend.
Yep, that's how you do it. Word of mouth. So if you like the show, maybe your friends like the show too. So I think that's going to be it for us. So until next time, good night.